This your Hub City boy OG Bry-dee, host of Urban Realness. Hit that subscribe button, that like button, that share, and that notification button. I'm gonna jump right into this one. I'm gonna make this one a little short. I'm gonna speak on when I made the transition from a gangbanger to a gang member and what that encompasses. Because of something that the cat Swifty Blue said. He said, I would never sign to a label of a black. But then he put some clarification on it because he thought about, I'm messing off my money. So I would never sign to a label of a black that has any type of gang ties. Well, in Los Angeles County, everyone has gang ties. If you sold drugs and you were non-affiliate, it was such and such, he'd mess with the whatevers because you had to have that tie. In this industry, because of the urban street rap, most of the guys in that industry have some type of gang ties for street cred, to validate who's on their labels and things of that nature. You don't have the majors other than commercialized rappers like Snoop and them, but he has his own thing going. And what I mean by commercialized, I'm not taking anything from his street. I'm simply saying that when you have a lot of these independents, they have guys who have not dubious backgrounds, but backgrounds formerly of the streets. And they made a transition and made something of themselves. Just like how I came home from the feds and everything I've done is legit, I've made something of myself, okay? So on that note, what I would like to say is when I was a gangbanger and I was selling drugs, you couldn't pay me to sell a blood, ounces of what I was selling and things like that. If anything, I would try to shoot him or jack him or whatever it took because I deemed him as an enemy. But when I turned 28 and I moved around a bunch of appointment pie rules and things of that nature, and I had what they needed, I had to think, 4 children mothers. Kid need this, Similac. One kid's on Enfamil, the other was on Similac. One kid is on Huggies, the other kid is Pampers because the Huggies gave this one a rash or the Pampers gave that one. It was some way with my children and they were the same ages with different mothers. Okay, so, should I not sell him this and he'll keep coming back and take care of my bills and take care of the rent on the spots that I had and pay my workers and pay my car notes and pay my insurance? Or should I just sit up here like an idiot and be a gangbanger, shoot him? That money will not come in because he's a continuum of money. So I learned the definition of money is not prejudice. It doesn't care who owns it. And this is something that I think that dude Swifty, because he's so deeply entrenched in his ideology, he hasn't been able to grasp. He says, oh, I do this with blacks, I do that with blacks, I do this with them. Them? Come on, man. But anyway, so this is what he says. So he hasn't made the transition completely as an artist. You are no longer a dude in the streets, man. You are an artist. Just like I say, I'm not in the streets. I'm of the streets. I'm no longer in the streets. Streets politics, I respect them. I honor them. And if I step out of pocket in somebody's neighborhood, I expect them to check me because it's their neighborhood and they can check me on that. I'm checkable on that. And then, you're not going to talk salty to me, nothing of that nature. I'm not going for that with nobody. I don't care who you are, where you're from, and what you represent. I'm not going for that. And if you do, I'm not going to have a spat on social media with you. I'm going to pull up on you and ask you what's happening, man, in just a one-on-one. And I don't do this. I don't even know what that means, especially at this age. The only time this means something to me is if you run up on me and I got to, with my no fighting self, for reals. But, nevertheless, I'm just simply saying, to get back on track, I would have never said that I would not do business with brothers because if I was in that field and I'm blowing up megally, then it may be labels that are backed by bigger conglomerates that have the advancement money for me. How would I say if a major label said to me that has a offshoot that has a distributor says, here, man, here goes $2 million up front. And I say, well, man, you got this Crip or this Damu that's the head of your A&R, and I know that's where he's from, even though the guy's transformed himself. I ain't taking that. But you'd rather still live in the trenches where you possibly can get bust on, or you'd rather still go in an environment where it's potential life-threatening encounters that can possibly happen. Never. No, you'd have to be nuts. Like I said, I made the transition at the age of 28. At 28, I stopped gangbanging because I started interacting with other guys on a monetary level. When it comes to money, it's a whole different ball game. It's not compromise your integrity or your belief or what your structure may have been or is. It's just simply a matter of broadening your horizon, using that third eye, not one with tunnel vision with blinders on it, but one that's objective, for an objective. So when the man said that I won't do business like that, he hasn't made the transition. I'm not saying, I'm not mad at you at all. I'm simply saying money is not prejudice. It doesn't care who owns it. And any individual that's a responsible man knows business is business. You have to learn to separate the two. I learned a long time ago, like when everyone I deal with, I tell them like this: check your feelings at the door. Emotions don't work with me. Save them for your woman, your child, your goldfish, your dog, whoever you may have. Don't bring them into the boardroom. I may say things to you in this room that I will not say to you outside of this room. So check your feelings. And I'm the same way. I'm Teflon when it comes to this business. I'm Teflon when it comes to, you have to learn to separate. I long ago separated the street. Yes, I speak on the streets because the streets has been a vast majority of my life has been a